I returned it still within the 7 days.
Yeah, same.
Of buying it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but then eventually I realised, there's nothing.
Yeah.
It was so severely undercooked and needed so much more time.
What about now?
Oh, it's
I
like
haven't
a
touched
whole
it.
new game. It's a whole different game.
Completely different game, yeah.
Is it worth getting now?
From what the reviews say, yeah.
What's the actual... I know what the game's about, but other than just exploring, is there anything else that you do?
There is a running story, but you don't find out the story. I don't know if they've changed it.
They did change it.
But do you want the story for a 65-year spoiler?
I was going to say maybe we should just listen back to what the hell we were talking about before you took a leak.
Oh, if you want, whatever.
Look at the game. The reviews are good.
The reviews are good.
It's got some story and it's got a lot of gameplay.
But
and it's online now.
It is a exploration game first and foremost. It's not a shooter. It's not a platform.
Well, they did implement a lot of.
Yeah, but it's not like a GTA or
it's
a Red
very
Dead.
survival.
It's survival based open world exploration.
Yeah.
So you're just basically going around, from what, I don't know, it's changed now, but categorizing, exploring areas, categorizing new fauna and flora and all that stuff, and you get to name them, and, it's
Okay.
crazy. But I don't know.
Back to the war.
Oh, yeah.
I think as far as Putin
I
goes...
thought we had moved on from that.
No. We'll finish. Look, it's a big thing, man, because this is the eve
of course.
a war that could essentially tie in everyone. I've talked Putin up before. I've given him credit, but he's actually gone off his rocker. He's actually gone off his rocker. He's got these bigger... And that's what my mates were saying. They're like, he's tried to tie Ukrainians in with this whole brotherhood sort of unity thing and gone the complete opposite way of, like, creating that unity by creating a false enemy. And now... Dude, it's the one war in recent history that it's been universally
Condemned. Everybody hates it, yeah.
No, has anyone said this is a good thing besides Belarus?
China.
No, China didn't say it was a good thing. They just didn't say anything.
No, what they did was they sent airship into Taiwan while that was all happening. Oh, sorry. Anyone notice that?
Nobody here.
No.
You see nothing. There's nothing on this ship.
Just like, come on, man. Like, that's,
No, but it's been universally condemned. Who has actually sided with the Russians in this?
Or, I don't know. It's. But I mean, he has a habit of trying to... He has a habit... I mean, he's old school KGB, so he's trying to bring something back.
Yeah.
He's got no qualms about, like, turning on his own people. I mean, what is this, 5 years now? He's condemned over 450,000.
The Uyghurs?
No, Russians.
Oh, Russians, sorry.
He's basically condemned. He's classified 450,000 Jehovah's Witnesses as extremist terrorists basically at the same level as ISIS terrorists.
What, J-Dubs?
Yeah.
But what?
You tell me.
How?
It's been in law for 5 years now.
How are J-Dubs on the same level as ISIS?
Well, probably because the Orthodox Church got behind it and they told him we don't like them and get rid of them. So...
They believe in Jesus.
Not the right style.
It doesn't make sense.
It's completely different.
What do you call it? Like, say what you will. Everybody's got their own opinion.
Okay, here we go.
If they might not be your most favourite people, but at the end of the day, you're classifying them as
an extreme
terrorist who on the same level as an ISIS terrorist.
Okay, hang on. Belarus has said that he does not want to get involved.
Yeah.
But has allowed 30,000 soldiers to go through Belarus into
they're just going for a patrol. just a training exercise.
Highways there.
What's that? You got some borscht?
Yeah, dude. Brazil, countries refused to outright condemn Putin's actions instead of taking a more neutral approach, saying it was monitoring the situation with great concern and urging immediate suspension of hostilities and the beginning of negotiations. Standard foil.
Let's also not forget he very lightly threatened Finland and Sweden.
Yes.
If they join NATO.
If they join NATO.
Who?
Finland and Sweden. Join NATO.
What is Finland and Sweden
Because they expressed interest in joining NATO, and as soon as he heard, he was like, swift justice will come. He's like, you better not do it.
But what has Finland and Sweden got to do with the former Soviet Union?
Exactly.
NATO's there as
I'm pretty sure they've been around longer than Russia.
NATO's there as a watchdog to say, hey, like, you know, if you haven't got a big brother, we can be your big brother. Don't stress.
Yeah.
Hey,
because it's a military alliance, and then another two countries join an alliance, a military alliance.
A global alliance.
Yeah.
Okay, India?
The Justice League.
Yeah. Captain Planet!
Justice League.
Sweden and Finland are like Aquaman trying to join. It's like, yeah, all right. Well,
Green Lantern.
you don't really have anything going for you.
Is it Green Lantern that's DC? No.
Yeah.
I would think more like Aquaman and
Batgirl.
Aquaman.
Robin.
Well, you're tied to the water. Like, yeah. We'll find a spot for you. Yeah.
The dolphins coming. Throw me into the water.
Send a massive tidal wave, but they're landlocked.
You're fucked.
Call the Kraken. Yeah, that's Poseidon. A little bit different. That's Poseidon's thing.
I'm just picturing my mama like.
So what the hell can you do? I can send you 5 crabs.
Snapping.
Get the pictures. I'm thinking of Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
Zoidberg. Yeah.
All right. China?
Don't look at me.
Oh, reboot.
Oh, really?
Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Futurama reboot.
Futurama reboot.
Wow.
Announced by Hulu?
Why?
It's a good question. All the original cast are back. Besides one person. I'll give you one each. One guess each.
Billy West.
Right.
No.
Oh, I was going to say Billy West, the actor.
No.
Who?
Who does the voice for Bender?
Fry does Billy. Billy West does Fry.
It's Bender.
It is. Yeah, that's him. That's the guy you just said.
No. His name's DiMaggio.
Oh, okay.
Bender's not coming back because they're not paying him enough money.
No, I don't blame
He'll
him.
get on board eventually.
It depends if it goes well.
I don't know. It's... Yeah, they're not...
I don't know. I don't think there's a need for it.
They're now thinking about... I think they had said they were going to think about considering a female voice for Bender.
What, still have the same robot?
Yeah.
What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Well, technically, you could just replace the voice.
The voice.
His voice is way too iconic. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I will not watch
it
the
is.
show.
Yeah.
I just won't. watch the show. Bender is Bender. You got to throw him out. Throw him out if he's not going to be DiMaggio.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
No.
Okay, let me go back to this list.
Yeah, sorry, go. What list?
The countries that are aligned with Russia.
Oh!
China.
While he's doing... Oh, you're still going. Okay.
China.
Yeah.
They met just before the Olympics kicked off in February.
Fell in love?
Well, that's what Trump said about Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un, sorry.
But who? And who?
That they fell in love.
With who?
Each other.
Trump and him?
When he went over there. Said
they fell in love.
He got a very nice letter and
see
they
that.
fell in love.
Well, I can see that.
Idiot. All right, so Xi expressed China's support for Russia and Ukraine.
Oh, can you imagine their baby?
Two men cannot have a baby.
Oh.
So
Those are strong words there, Kim. Those are
the
very
podcast?
strong words.
Do we have to...
Do you want people to start going back into the 50s with sundresses? Huh?
That's what you said last time. You always go back to the 50s with sundresses.
Because that's the most misogynistic time in human history.
He's just got it backed up anytime something comes up.
It's because he plays too much Fallout.
Because that's supposed to be like the time when the housewives are at home and they're happy, but they were miserable.
Where's my damn dinner? Here, baby.
Tuna casserole.
You think of that when you say sundress, and I just think of a beast Homer in sundress.
Oh, the moo-moo.
Yeah, the moo-moo. With the hat.
I love that episode.
The hat made no sense yet. It's just like... you always... It's just... The thing that shits me the most about that is the fact that you're the most conservative out of all of us. And you accuse me of wanting women to be back in the 50s with sundresses.
So what? Just because you think I'm conservative, what assumptions do you already make there, Dim?
Oh, you're already an alt-right supporter of Trump. We got that.
What's the point? Yeah, so where are you going with that? Like, how does that lead into anything?
He's like, hey, you can't prove it. He's just, you can't prove it. Amputated his arm where he injected bleach. You can't prove it.
It's just dead. It's just this little string noodle.
Can we please get back to the
yes, the list.
The list. The list, yes.
We're only talking about countries that could potentially side with Russia in World War III. But
China.
yeah, irrelevant.
China.
Let's go back to the sundresses. What's that you say? NFTs? No, listen. Xi expressed China's support for Russia and Ukraine to resolve their problems through negotiations, but they haven't condemned anything. India, same thing. Countries under pressure to condemn Putin's aggression, but so far has resisted the calls to join economic sanctions. They're fostering increasingly strong ties with the US, but also relies on Russia for most of its advanced weapons. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who spoke with Putin not long after the attacks were launched, wanted to see the concerted efforts from all sides to return to the path of diplomatic negotiations. Prime Minister of India.
Okay. So he's okay.
Two more. There's actually a couple more. Israel. Language used by Israeli Prime Minister on the conflict has been described as tepid by some. He's praying for peace and calm in Ukraine and offering humanitarian assistance to Ukrainian civilians.
But no sanctions.
You want to know what it's going to take?
Pakistan.
Hang on, wait, let's finish. We're so close.
Pakistan.
Yeah.
These are all the usual suspects, yeah?
Yeah.
Pakistan. Timing. He says the pre-scheduled visit, which they had, is just nothing to do with conflict, but it's just timing was described as a diplomatic disaster. Because Imran Khan had gone there a couple of months ago or something. Hours before Russian troops began their invasion. Sorry. Khan expressed regret over the conflict and said that Pakistan believed the dispute should be resolved through dialogue and diplomacy. Again, not condemning the actual actions. Serbia. Serbian government is considered pro-Russian, but has also tried to walk a fine line in the West. Usual shit there. Turkey, a NATO member since 1952. With close ties to Russia, Turkey's found itself caught in a tight spot as Ukraine asked the country to block Russian warships.
Yeah.
And the country has yet to make a decision, but said it will not be able to prevent ships from returning to their home base in the Black Sea. Makes no sense. And lastly, Venezuela. South American country is a close Russian ally. And prior to the invasion, its president said that it supported Russia. Like China, it places blame on the US and NATO for the escalation of events. None of the events have anything to do with America or NATO.
So,
what?
What I saw happening, good old Putin was using an old strategy I like to use in Total War. Rome, usually. The second he started saying...
play-by-play breakdown.
You're not doing yourself any favours, man.
Right, is what I do.
Okay.
I saw this coming a mile away.
I'm going to sit a bit further away, and I'm going to stare at the bust of Caesar.
My character's main name is Vladimir Putin.
That doesn't matter.
It's very different.
You can't do this in Crusader Kings, but you can do it in Total War, right?
Okay.
Basically,
Speaking of which, we haven't played it since that night.
And the Royal Court has come out now.
Who cares? We haven't even finished.
He's like, I haven't even touched the base game.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're talking about expansions.
Dude, that $113 was the most money I've spent on anything electronic in years. Somehow I wasted it on Crusader Kings 3.
Oh, dude,
I played 5 hours with this guy.
I've been playing it.
What, our campaign?
No, another one.
I was going to say. Well, when are we going to play?
Huh?
When are we? Huh?
You tell me. You're the one that's never available.
Fuck off. I told you that if you wanted to play, give me time and we'll do it.
There's no better time to play than right now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't. I got to sit here and convert all the audio.
Oh, no, I meant because of the war. Anyway, go on.
So, favourite old strategy of mine is building up my forces on a neutral or diplomatic ally on their border because you're neutral or diplomatic ally. You just build your forces up, get them into a strong position, end the treaty, or just break it. By the time they have a turn to react, you're already at their capital.
So,
Bang, done.
So what I
he's
just
already
heard
done.
is
yes.
You're Putin in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's just copying me.
He's looking at online leaderboards or something. Ooh, yeah, that's
I like the cut of this guy's gym. You know what they're going to do? It's going to have to take probably the top big dogs. They're going to have to commit to it. Basically, a war will have to be done, obviously. But it's something that should have been completed. I think it was at the end of World War I, when basically America got involved. The rest of Europe had tired forces, exhausted forces.
Yeah.
A fresh American army arrived in Europe. They helped end the war. And then that was it.
I think
They
that's
just turned around and went back.
That's a misconception I absolutely hate, that America somehow saved
They
Europe.
didn't save, but they came with the freshest
They
forces
came
there.
in at the right time.
Yeah.
Right place, right time.
Yeah.
They answered the call in the last minute. It's like, dickhead, we really need your help.
Well, the thing is, they didn't win the war. It was actually a breakthrough that came, I think, from Greece through Albania or something
Would you like
that.
me to tell you more about it, John?
No, that's okay.
No, I will.
I'm okay.
Let me tell you about a little
Bye,
man
everyone.
called Benito Mussolini. All right.
Anyway,
Little Tito here.
essentially what they should have done was...
Right? See, he doesn't want to hear about the fall of Italy. in
I
World War
couldn't care
II.
less.
No. Hang on. No, wait a second. You asked me. I'm going to...
I didn't ask you anything. See,
No.
this is another case of him just hearing what he wants to hear.
All right. No, this is a case of you not knowing something. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to school you.
No, that's
all right?
okay. I've already heard it.
So, back in...
Just call me when we're back.
Shut up, idiot. No, I'm serious. You were right. It was Greece. The tide turned in Greece.
Yeah.
So basically what happened was France fell in like a week. Everyone fell, right? All these countries just fell in days, right? Germans just barged into their capital cities, took over within minutes, right?
I'm not talking World War II.
What?
I'm talking World War One.
No, I'm talking World War II.
No, I'm talking one.
Ah, okay,
In World
well.
War One, we're back. You can come back now. So in World War One,
Yes.
pretty much,
Yes.
there was a breakthrough. I think it was through Albania and Greece as well. I think it was through there anyway. But that's how they managed to get their forces through into Italy, and that's what forced Italy's hand.
Oh, you mean a breakthrough? Okay, so I didn't quite understand.
In
what
World
you
War
meant.
One.
Okay.
So that was the main turning tide. But what happened was America didn't have the casualties that every other country in Europe had. They arrived with a fresh army
Yeah.
in World War One. I'm talking one. They arrived with millions and millions and millions of soldiers. They put basically the German issue was put to a halt. World War One. They had all these soldiers, and they knew, what do we do with this army? Do we go home, or do we continue on and put an end to Russia? Not an end, but basically tackle communist regime Russia in World War One. And they were saying, essentially, if they had done that, America would have been like a super world power. It would have spanned across the globe into Europe, into Russia. Okay? A lot of what we would have now then would be stamped out because it just would never have come to an existence and reigned for so long. What they're going to have to do, probably, maybe, is eventually if a war comes out, they're going to have to go into Russia, they're going to have to go into China, occupy these countries, but indefinitely, and break them down into minor state countries like you had in the medieval ages. So essentially, you don't have a whole China, you have provinces that are independently ruled by different rulers. So then if anything ever breaks out again, you can just send out larger armies to put an end to it so no one ruler can consolidate the whole area.
But then you're basically granting superpowers to America and whoever comes in.
But there's always going to be a superpower. If it's not America,
that's true. There's always going to be a superpower.
there's always a superpower throughout history.
But do they have the power to do
Well,
that?
that's the thing.
Because we're talking about two superpowers dealing with technically one superpower.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, Russia's forces, even though, like, what they're saying at the moment, what is in Kiev, in Ukraine, isn't their veteran forces. It's mostly 20-year-olds and 21-year-old young fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are getting their asses handed to them. They should have had this. Whether the veterans could do a better, like the older men could do a better job, who knows? But logistically, they've dropped the pooch. You know, like they didn't go with enough food. They didn't go enough with petrol. They're offering money to citizens to buy their food and petrol to Ukrainians. They're saying no. You know, so they haven't really been tested. Like other than was it Afghanistan?
The Russians? Yeah.
How did they fare in that?
Fuck if I know.
I'm not. It's not my best suit. Like, you know, have they ever been in a war since, you know, like
World War II.
to test their mettle? Yes, they have nuclear weapons, but as an army, how do they fare?
What do you think that the
China? How would China fare in a war? They have never been in a war recently.
True, but they are fairly disciplined.
Are they?
Yeah.
What are we basing that off? Parades?
No, just sheep.
We know they have exploding helmets.
Do you think that the media coverage of how the Russian troops are like surrendering in some cases
Is it real?
Yeah, do you reckon that's real or do you reckon that's false?
I don't know. I think there is. The thing is as well, even though you got Russian propaganda, there's also going to be Ukrainian propaganda for morale.
Yeah.
So to what extent? It's possible. But I was reading somewhere, whether it's true or not, they've said in like 4 days of fighting, Russia's lost more soldiers than America did in 20 years in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I read that as well.
In the last numbers I knew about were 2 days ago. It was 2,600 deaths from Russia's side, 290 from Ukraine's side. But Russia have lost a huge amount of actual military vehicles.
Yeah, I heard
like
the same.
Massive amounts.
Yeah.
80 trucks, like 40 tanks, 12 helicopters, 15 aircrafts,
And-
like huge numbers.
Yeah. And because they're saying like all this defensive artillery and that, where's it coming from? Obviously, it's coming from other countries.
Well, it's coming from the US, mainly.
Yeah. And they're like, how could they possibly have all this defensive hardware? So all of a sudden, like you would think their reconnaissance in Russia would have picked up on all this. And then I think, well, how modern is Russia's armored forces? Is it Cold Era vehicles still? You know?
You would assume so.
I don't know. That's what I mean. Like, how up to date?
The nuclear warheads is more than anyone like on the
I would
planet.
laugh if they went to shoot a nuke and it doesn't go off because it's so old.
Well, but they did put it on warning, right?
They put the whole country
they've escalated
on.
everything. Yeah.
But that's probably because they were getting ass handed to them.
But that's it. Like, what are they going to do? Bomb Ukraine? It's like it's like a speck on the end of their freaking border. Like, it's insanity.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's just that, like I said, the fact that
did you see the reason why I brought it up, right? Do you believe it or not? Is because the reason they apparently knew the age of the 19, 20-year-old soldiers was because they literally got to a couple of the towns and were like, these are all civilians, and they got out, they talked with the civilians, they ended up surrendering, and the government and the army ended up like giving them their phones so they can call their parents and being like, your kids are here. Did you know that? And they're like, no, what the fuck? Like, they didn't get told what happened. They just got taken and they just got thrown in the army. No training, no exercises, just go. This is a serious threat against Russia. Go. And whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But the fact that they have that information and it's true, you know, it's pretty fucked up.
There's so, like, you look at like Ottoman Turkey, all right? Before World War One, that was a mega superpower. Like all of Europe was terrified of it. They tried so many times. They got to Vienna, you know, and they finally got repelled because due to some allied force of like a little like a coalition of different countries. Like they were at the gates ready to just tear it down. Comes World War One, they're like a ghost, like a husk of what they used to be. Overrunning areas, old weaponry. Could Russia be something like that? They've had their heyday during the Cold Era because they invested all this money in military, in infrastructure for military stuff, armored vehicles, but they've never really been tested because they've never had to use it. America, how many wars have they been in? They're constantly cutting edge, up to date because
they've been in constant war since before Vietnam.
And that's what I mean. Like, so
Korea,
they're constantly their metals being tested all the time in warfare.
Yeah, it's just
so they can't allow their military to decompose, basically, like waste away. They're constantly being tested. Whereas Russia, I don't know, China, like,
and then you think about who Russia's actually tested: Crimea. You know what I mean?
Like
they've taken insurgents out across their borders who are probably less equipped than we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, like, I remember reading somewhere, like, as a nukes.
I got 5 rifles.
Welcome to Crimea. Don't forget to sanitize. We're taking the borders. Oh, shit.
I mean, there's a threat, we've set the country up for, nuclear warning. How many nukes does Russia have, though?
A lot.
They've got a lot.
They've got a lot.
Yeah.
How many, though? Let's say 100?
Well, let's have a look.
I actually don't know the number. I know they're one of the...
They're up
top.
there.
Yeah.
They're up there.
But I remember reading America has more nukes than every nuclear country power combined.
Yeah. Because a lot of places surrendered their nukes
Russia
to America,
has,
right?
7 hours ago. Russia has, this is according to an assessment by the Arms Control Association in terms of deployed nuclear warheads. Russia has 1,458 warheads, on 527 intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine launch missiles, and bombers. The US has 1,389 warheads on 665 intercontinental ballistic missiles.
So they've got a lot.
Pretty
So they got
comparable.
more than US, but the US has got more actual ballistic missiles.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And what about China?
China's weapons.
Yeah.
We have 5.
They're just polishing them.
Built in China.
The good ones.
The screws come off halfway there.
They're like open the the thing that the floor that opens up to it just stops halfway. So, somebody hit it with a broom.
The back end comes out like a sparkler. Okay, so this is according to every survey. No one's going to know, but every survey that you're going to get, the Federation of American Scientists estimate that China has 350 nuclear warheads, a pittance compared with Russia's 6,200, America's 5,600.
I just remember reading something. This is a few years ago, but I do remember them reading, and it said America, you combine every country in the world that has nukes, as opposed to America. America has more than all of them combined.
Yeah.
But that was maybe 10 years ago, so it's maybe changed.
You never know, man. Stockpiles, God knows.
Yeah.
These are just estimates by bigger bodies than us that do the research.
The thing
You
is,
know what I mean?
do they, I don't know, but do they draw a line at, where do they draw the line?
Look,
If they were to do it, bang, straight into, what were you going to say?
Where do they draw the line between putting your country on alert for nuclear launch and actually firing the thing and reacting in military force? Because we know that the UK is set up a large army in Estonia, and they're just waiting there. So, at what point do you actually take action?
Do you use them?
Yeah.
Well, that's right.
Because they're waiting for Russia to literally go into Estonia after that and then defend because of NATO. But, do you wait until an entire country is nuked to do it?
well, no one's used a nuclear weapon since Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
It could be posturing. Nobody really wants to do it, but someone probably will eventually.
Someone as nutty as Putin would.
Yeah.
That's what they're worried about.
But then, at what point do you stop it before that happens? How do you know before
that's
it
the
happens?
catch 2020. They're going to catch him out on that, and then everyone else can get involved.
Well, you would hope the people around him, once he starts talking about it, would do something.
Well, you would think they would do something now, though. Once you put a country in alert, that's not a good sign.
No.
That's a very bad sign.
Nobody else is saying it. We're going to bomb you with a nuke. He's the one that's coming out and saying it.
Yeah.
You don't just throw that threat out willy-nilly.
Exactly. That's the point, right? Yeah.
This war, this invasion has been condemned from every side except for the last few remaining holdouts that haven't condemned it. They just haven't supported it. They just said, we need negotiations. If it was crazy enough to actually launch something, it'd be universally just everyone would get involved.
But where would they get involved? To the extent of invasion or
defense?
Or
they'd go on the offensive.
I think they would have to, and that's what I'm talking about.
They'd make an example of someone like this.
The thing is, what countries would come to his defense in the sense where they dedicate troops for basically his side?
But we're talking about if they cross the line and nuke. Because, he's already crossed the line.
Yeah,
he's literally invading a capital and about to kill a president. So, if that's not the line, then what is it? What's the line? Where do you draw it and where do you just push on the offense?
Probably once he gets too close to Central Europe.
So they'll let Russia fall. They'll let Ukraine fall.
If he advances past Ukraine, then yes.
I think it would have to come to an invasion of probably Poland or Sweden.
What grounds could he invade Poland?
But see, Sweden, again...
Because they've dedicated... they've been sending weapons to Ukraine.
Has it been weapons or has it just been stuff for civilians?
Humanitarian
No, it's
support,
weapons. They sent...
Was it?
I think they sent 30,000 weapons.
Oh, okay.
I think.
But again, they can attack Sweden and no one can do anything about it, if that's the case. It's the same position as Ukraine.
At the end of the day, this is the same reason, not the same reason, but that's the reason why. You look at World War II, they dropped the bombs on Japan. I've told you this before, because they knew what was involved in a ground invasion of Japan. They said it would be more cost effective to drop nukes on Japan to send a message than to commit who knows how many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of soldiers to conquer and invade Japan. Because they knew that that was a country where every single civilian was not trained, but would have
Pick up arms.
Pick up arms.
Yeah.
Because it was so, nationalistic.
Yeah.
Would that happen in Russia?
The protests would indicate otherwise.
But then, they're still going to have holdouts. So to what extent, where would you choose your targets?
Russia's fucking big.
And it'd have to be somewhere that would have to cause damage. Enough to,
But that's the thing. It's been universally condemned, even by Russians. No one's saying this should have happened. No one even knows what it's about.
No.
Like I said, every Russian and Georgian and Ukrainian that I've spoken to have given me the same thing.
Well, then it's going to have to take someone from the inside to do it.
Wasn't there a soldier that did that? That he was a Russian guy during World War II? Yeah.
No, World War II, during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Russian soldier nuke...
I think it was a false positive where they said, we're going to send it. And he said no. And he refused to, because I think it takes two people to press the button. And he refused to do it.
Hang on.
Did he get shot?
Nah, I think his career was destroyed.
Was it?
I think so.
Hang on. October 1962, as nuclear warheads and submarines gathered in the water separating Cuba and the United States, one man refused to launch missiles and save the world from World War III. So 50 years ago, this article's a bit old. Oh, no, 50 years ago, the world teetered on the brink of nuclear war. After reviewing some photographic evidence, JFK informed the world that the Soviet Union was building secret missile bases in Cuba, 90 miles off the shores of Florida. For the next 13 days, the world held its breath as the Soviet Union and the United States confronted each other about missiles stationed in Cuba. While politicians sought a resolution to the standoff, no one was aware of the events taking place inside the Soviet submarine B-59 in the waters off the coast of Florida. As we celebrate blah, 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 the man who saved the world. Unsung story of a Soviet naval officer, Vasily Arkhipov, the brigade chief of staff on the submarine, who refused to fire a nuclear missile and save the world from World War III. So skipping forward, commander of each submarine had permission to act without direct orders from Moscow if they believed they were under threat. Each of the 4 subs was carrying what the Soviets called a special weapon, a single nuclear torpedo, comparable in strength to the bomb dropped in Hiroshima. Is it Hiroshima or Hiroshima?
Hiroshima.
It is Hiroshima. Torpedo could only be fired if the submarine captain and the political officer were in agreement. Each one had half a key of which, when joined, unlocked the firing mechanism. So they interviewed a guy who commanded one of the 4 subs. I had a written order that I could release it, and if there was an order to fire the torpedo, I would do it without a second thought. For the first time in life, a commander of a submarine had a nuclear weapon and had the authority to fire the missile at his command. However, aboard the B-59, 3 men, not 2, needed to be in agreement. As commander of the entire submarine fleet, Arkhipov, who had the power to veto firing the missile and was one of the only men who knew about the mission in advance. Fast forward, and then, just basically he just said no, like I'm just not firing this thing based on whatever it was. And that's it. It literally averted a nuclear war in the 60s.
That's crazy.
I mean, at the end of the day, everybody knows what a nuke's going to do. I don't think anybody, as a leader of a country, you take on that responsibility knowing you might have to do it.
Yeah.
You might.
In dire circumstances
but
of defense normally.
It shouldn't be your first move.
This is his first move.
But it shouldn't be. And
Dude, they walked in 5 days ago.
Yeah.
And he's already put everyone on high alert. This is what we're doing.
But that's him expecting it. But nobody is saying they're going to do it to him. And
the scary thing is, in his head, he's probably set a deadline as well. Because if he's put it on alert, he's probably said, all right, how long is it going to take for us to take Kiev? 4 days?
Yeah,
and they're, 2 days into it, 3 days into
now
Kiev?
It's 4 or 5.
Kiev,
4 or 5,
however you want to pronounce it. And Zelensky's still alive, right? So when does he push that button? And I'm sure there's not 2 people required for his buttons. It's probably sitting on his throne over there. Just
the thing is, if he wants that land, there's not of any use of it being nuked.
The buildings are destroyed. There's shit everywhere. But
that land will be inhabitable for how long?
Dude, they took Chernobyl, man. They don't care. He's literally risking people's lives.
Chernobyl, apparently, as soon as they took it, they said the radiation levels just increased phenomenally.
Yeah, because no one's monitoring it. No one's controlling it now. And they don't give a shit. And they're like, please, like, everyone around the world needs to make sure there's controls in place. No. They're insane, man. I'm telling you, they completely lost it. Seriously. You tell you what, Zelensky is one thing, like, everyone's talking about Putin, but Zelensky, man, what a champion.
I love he does have
What a champion.
And he's like, gotcha now.
What do you mean you don't agree with me? Do you know who you're dealing with?
Literally him. Ren and Stimpy. Great. How did you even think of that?
Do you know what he is in that dream? He's the president of the Stimpy fan club.
He just has the button. He just has a nuke. He just has it at his disposal on his desk.
Quarter of the earth gets blown out.
Just accidentally chuck a pen to the side of the table.
I love it. Zelensky, yeah, you're right. Did you see all his responses? It's
His tweets and
fuck yeah, look, we're not backing down. We've done nothing to warrant
I love
this.
the taunts. His tweet taunts have been amazing. I'm still here. And it's showing the buildings behind it. It's beautiful here, isn't it? He doesn't give a fuck. Like, come at me.
It's because they've done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Like, as in on paper, like they've done nothing wrong. I don't know, maybe, he stole Putin's girlfriend. I got no idea. But, I don't know, it's going to be interesting, man.
Stole Putin's bear. She was mine!
Stole a bear from a barbecue.
Went home with the bear tonight.
I love all the shit Russian memes, man, where it's like,
riding the
found
bears.
this stray dog and it's a bear.
Yeah.
You know what? I think with Russia, man, it's just...
It's stuffed, like you said, because the people themselves don't even want it. So, like the countries don't want to commit anything because the population's not behind it.
No. You're sitting around scratching
It's
your head.
different.
What
It's
am
different.
What are
like,
we doing?
Yeah, it's different. Like, say, World War II Germans, or World War I Germans, or World War I Italians, or World War II Italians, World War II Japanese.
It's just German.
It's different.
Very dedicated cause.
It's just German.
My Führer.
It's just German.
Look, they did it wrong, but they were passionate. They believed in the cause.
But, yeah.
Don't you remember?
It's, you know what I mean? Like, nobody, like, yeah.
These aren't people who are inspired. It's most likely people they've been lied to or brainwashed or
just young enough to just do what
to be
they're
done.
told.
Yeah, to follow orders.
Yeah, look, we've left it on a downer, and this really sort of sucks.
We can put it on an upper if you want.
Here we go.
Slightly
Actually,
hard if that helps.
I've got an upper. Not even an upper. We were talking about old people before. Like 2 hours ago, we were talking about John.
I don't know how this is going up, but sure.
And,
I thought you wanted to do a bracketsy.
you want to start one now?
No.
It's
Look at his
9:30.
mate! We're doing pasta!
He's popping off.
It's
I'm just ignoring it.
9:30. I haven't been home yet, right? I've been out since the morning.
I've got a full stomach, had a sausage roll, Krispy Kreme, coffee.
He's got two
I could go.
coffees in front of
You
me.
know what shit? I'm literally going to go home probably like this guy. I'm going to spend the next 5 hours working, then wake up at 4:30 to do my meetings.
Do you know what shit? It's 9:30. It's going to take me about an hour to convert audio to audio from here. So I'm going to use that time to catch on my day work that I should have done 5 hours ago. So I'll probably leave here at 10:30, 11 o'clock, get home, start submitting work, and then have a look at my emails, and then maybe have a shower and think about what I'm going to eat, which of course I can't do anything because there's nothing open to buy on the way home. You piss me off because I can just see your brother right now.
Look at the bottom right one.
Russia.
Yeah. I love that clip. I love it.
Do you know? Oh, yeah, go please.
Well, sir, treason season started early.
I love the
Nuclear
picture.
sub was hijacked by local man Homer Simpson.
Oh my god! I told him that photo would come back to haunt him.
Could Homer Simpson be a communist? His father spoke out on his behalf.
My Homer is not a communist. He may be a liar, a pig, an idiot, a communist, but he is not a porn star. It's over there.
The Soviet Union will be pleased to offer amnesty to your wayward vassal.
The Soviet Union?
I thought you guys broke up.
Yes.
See how the voice changed? Just and the bounce.
Must crush capitalism.
He was just all playing. He was already in the works. He just pushed the button. We're
You know, I
good.
just realised tanks came out of the float. How big are these floats?
I feel like Putin must have watched that clip and he's like, this is what I
yes.
want.
Good.
This is what I want.
Yes. Oh, man.
All right. No, look. I actually have a bunch of notes here, but it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Let's just wrap it.
Should we just rapid fire?
Nah, the only thing I was going to say was
We've
about
got 2 minutes.
was
before
about
9:30.
media perception. Yeah. I was going to talk about media perception. I saw a couple of posts come up on my socials over the last couple of days, which I thought was interesting. Do you realise that the Sex and the City reboot right now, yeah, as in like what's it called? And There It Was or whatever,
Yeah,
whatever it's
something,
called.
yeah, yeah.
The women on that show are the same age as the Golden Girls were when they in the first series.
Really?
Yeah. The women are literally the same age. Like, comparable within a year or two.
Meal? Question mark?
But think about the Golden Girls, yeah? That was...
What were they, like 60s?
They were meant
Late
to be
60s?
4 old women
Yeah.
in a retirement village, past it, you know, la, la, la.
Oh, that'll be the third series for Sex and the City.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but if they do a third
Oh,
one,
yeah.
that'll be that
Yeah,
then
yeah, when
afterwards.
they move into a condo or something.
Sandra?
I'm going to get lucky because Big died.
They're still harping on about it, like 20 years later.
Yeah, like he's dead now. I don't know if they're still together. He's
No, he's dead.
Oh, he did die?
Yeah, he had a heart attack.
Oh, well, there you go.
He had a heart attack on one of those bike exercise bikes.
Oh,
and
that
they
was
had to put a...
Listen, this
That
is
was a convenient story plot.
Hang on a second. I'm giving you a rapid fire. I'm not, you know.
Calm down. Interesting as well, Daniel LaRusso from Karate Kid is the same age now as Mr. Miyagi was in the first thing as well.
See, I like that point. That's a good
But that's
point.
what I'm saying. It's about the perception of how we view old people and how we view each generation going forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi and the Golden Girls were past it. Past it. Like, as in, throw them in the heap, it's done.
Yeah.
You tell me Daniel LaRusso and, you know, Sarah Jessica Parker and the rest of them are past it now? No, they're still portrayed as in, like...
Prime-ish.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's a good point.
Do you know what I
That's a
mean?
good point, yeah.
Same age, man.
Yeah.
You think of Miyagi, you think of like an old, decrepit man.
Can barely move.
I think
Yeah.
of Miyagi and I think of that joke he did on YouTube.
Which joke?
When he... What's the actor's name?
He's dead.
Yeah, but what was his name?
Oh, far out. I keep forgetting. Well, what joke did he do?
He does a joke about a fly, I think it is.
Mr. Miyagi joke?
Yeah.
Has he got like a sword?
Yeah.
Pat Morita.
Pat Morita, yeah.
All right, how about we end it on Mr. Miyagi's
This is a
joke?
very politically correct joke.
This one? This is interesting.
It's called a short sword. They got the long, big samurai sword, right? That Mifune and all these guys. I was in a tournament, or watching a tournament in Japan recently, where these guys that did the short sword demonstration was so fascinating. They awarded 3 prizes. I went up to the guy that won the 3rd prize, and I said, "Excuse me, sir, but what did you do to win 3rd prize in the short sword?" He says, "Very simple. You see a fly on the wall? Watch." And the fly dropped dead. 2 pieces. One flew over here, one flew over there. I said, "Oh my goodness, this is something else." I went up to the 2nd guy, right? The guy who won 2nd prize. I said, "And what did you do, sir, to win your prize?" He says, "See the fly on the wall?" He talked just like Buddy Hackett. "See the fly on the wall? Watch." 4 pieces. 2 flew over there, 1 flew this way, and the other flew. They were gone, dead. Now I'm going, oh boy, what did the grand prize winner do to win his award? I went up to the guy who won the grand prize. I said, "Please, sir, what did you do to win grand prize short sword demonstration?" He said, "You see the fly on the wall over there?" They all talk like Buddy Hackett. See that fly? He said, "Watch." The fly's still going around. I say, big deal, the fly's still flying. He said, yes, but that fly will never have children again.
Fucking Miyagi, man. Good on Miyagi. He's been dead for years.
Yeah.
He was on Happy Days.
Yeah.
Do you have that? What's the name of the stand? Do you have like a fruit stand or something? Yeah, that's what it is. Happy Days. What was the name of the stand? This is going to bother me now.
I can't remember.
Don't remember. It was such a long time ago.
Anyway, we covered a lot. I can't believe it's freaking 10 or whatever it is. What is it, 9:30? When was the last time we did an episode? A month?
Month.
So what are you doing now? You're on leave, aren't you?
I'm on holiday at the end of this week. I got a month off.
Oh, so we can plan the next one.
Oh, I'll be away. I'm happy to call it in over video. You can have me over there.
Yeah, drinking coffees. Hey, get out of my chair. You know what I mean? No,
I'm happy to do it.
You're away, like actually going away, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
2-3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be away for at least 3 weeks.
Where are you going?
I shall be.
If you say rye or some shit. If you say rye,
No, it's not rye.
rosebud or
No, it's not right.
Okay, where are you
It's
going?
Rosebud. I'll be there for probably 2 weeks at least.
actually going there.
Yeah. Dude, man, a day in
He
Rosebud.
tries to legitimize it. No, but you're actually going away, right? Yeah, like you didn't do it last month and the
No, I
month
didn't.
before that.
I did it.
And bullshit.
I did it. 1 day in Rosebud, 1 night sleep in Rosebud is the equivalent, I would say, as maybe a week in Hawaii. It's just so relaxing, decompressing.
The sound of the sea,
Sound of the sea, utter silence.
the luau.
And then, after Dim's inspiring interstate visit, I've decided to go to Adelaide for a week as well.
Adelaide is actually right up your alley.
Yeah.
Very slow, it's not busy, you know, it's very, very chilled, laid back. And the Germans.
And the Germans. It's just the Germans.
Welcome to Adelaide.
I want to go check out that heraldry store, that's why. I'm driving to Adelaide. I'm what do you call it?
How long's the drive?
Road trip.
Road tripping it. I don't have
It's about 7-8 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
If you stop,
Oh, so it's the same to Sydney?
Sydney's 10 hours. Calm down. Everyone drives like you.
7 hours.
Actually, I think I've only been in the car with you maybe once. I can't think of too many times that I've been in the car with you. I've nearly almost always driven.
Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't want to be in the car with me.
Why?
See, you've got your bad habits and I got my bad habits. I take corners really quick. You never let go of your phone.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's the difference. I always go into corners really quick.
Yeah, but I want to make it consistent and jeopardize the trip for the entire time. Why just limit it to corners?
I've backed off 2 corners only.
Oh, so-
I made it to Sydney in 7 hours and 15 minutes.
Look, if you don't stop for a shit break at least twice or food and you stay at the limit or just above the limit, 7 hours is still pretty tight. It's like 1,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
So you've got to be going at least 120, 130 the entire time.
More than that.
Like, as in that's your standard speed. Like, there's no, you're slowing down to take a corner at 120. You know what I mean?
My mate who was with me put his head out the window at one point and a bug hit him. This big bruise, like huge golf ball bruise on his
What
head.
were you driving?
My Audi.
Okay. That's a smooth ride.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't even feel it. It's not like you get like
Average
fatigue.
220 in that car. Straight down.
I had the idea of doing the drive on my bike to see how fast I could get it done.
The only thing I'll warn you about is there was one period where when that bug actually hit him and he went flying backwards and I shit myself because I thought something happened, I braked pretty hard and I slowed down. As I slowed down, we were going, there's these massive inclines, and as I slowed down, I was like, are you okay? We were chatting for a bit, just doing the speed limit. Bang, cop car right there. he probably saved my ass by getting hurt. And now I know they're a lot more strict. There's a lot more.
When did you do that? You haven't had the Audi
years, 12 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Now they're doing like choppers, speed sort of time lapse sort of shit.
Yeah. I've
A lot
seen
of
the
it's that
lines.
time-lapse stuff now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've seen the lines on the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're legit. Like this is where you are. You got to the next line way too freaking
In how
quick.
long? Yeah.
Yeah, and they just do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it now. Fuck that.
7 hours. Yeah, him and carload of people just gunning it to Adelaide.
Gotta get there.
I think I made it there with like a quarter of a tank of fuel left. I was like,
The tarantella just blaring.
mine was more
On
like
repeat for 7 hours.
mine was more like the.
Woo! That's insane. No, the drive to Adelaide is like 7-8 hours.
Okay,
No
like
more
a
than
comfortable.
that. Yeah, it's like how many Ks? Like 500 and something, 600 and
Oh,
something.
okay.
It's an hour like flight. It's not like it's an
Do you
hour
go
and a
through a
bit
lot of
flight.
suburban areas though?
It's boring.
But do you go through a lot of city like suburbs?
You haven't been out that way, have you?
No, never.
Have you ever been in Mildura?
Not that I remember.
Mildura, the drive to Mildura, especially in like autumn.
Is that 4 hours?
No, it's like 6. It's
No, I
like,
don't
it's
think
just
I've been
it's like 580 Ks or something.
No, I haven't been.
So you stop in Huyen or whatever and have something to eat, and then you stop in like Swan Hill. The drive to Mildura, especially if you do it in like autumn or like stark summer, is boring as shit. Just long roads, very few wines, and just burnt out fields. And every now and then you come across a field of sunflowers. It's like and then you just go back. The last time I drove it was like 2014 or something. I was going up for a memorial, like the 1 year memorial for the Greeks. I had my mum in the car, and I think I had my uncle in the car as well. And some of the time, like they were old farts, just let them nap. I drove nearly the whole way, and some of the times just staring at the wheel, and I just found my mind just leaving, just wandering, and I'm just like, ugh, like no, snap out of it, idiot. Like, wasn't tired, wasn't fatigued,
Just bored.
just the drive, man. Like you're sitting on 110 and just like staring out into nowhere. Anyway, yes. So you're going for like a week, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. You better go back. You better go to
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I will.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Tell him that the bust of Julius Caesar now has a Hollywood Hogan beanie, yeah? the scar.
I wouldn't mind getting some stuff there. I want to check it out.
I'll tell you, you come back with a suit of armour and a mace.
The car won't be able to exceed 50 Ks on the way back. It's just so heavy. Bugged
That's a
out.
nice mace. It's called Skull Crusher.
He's got this suit of armour sticking out of the back window.
I'm interested in that 14th century sword, but what type of scabbard comes with it?
We have a selection available.
Isn't that what you said? That you have to start a crusade, you get yourself a scabbard.
You need a scabbard for your sword.
When the crusade comes, John will be driving to Adelaide to recruit the guy that owns that art store.
I need you to blacksmith me some
We
stuff.
need you, mate. We need you now more than ever.
Call to arms.
Anyway, let's wrap it here. For all we know, Kiev has already fallen, unfortunately. Can you ease up on that mirror?
I'm very comfortable.
I know, it's a good chair.
I'm kicking back with my legs out.
You scumbag. All right, so theoretically, we can't be doing another episode for at least a month.
I told you we can. I can call it in.
You're not calling shit in,
Well,
man.
no, you can have me on the TV.
Would you actually do it? Hey,
What?
What?
he's putting his pants on.
What?
Would you do a Zoom pod with him on the actual TV?
Yeah, if you set it up.
Yeah, it wouldn't be hard. Just set up a Zoom link, really, and just have you running through auxiliary audio.
Yeah, I'd do it.
I just have to figure out how the mics work. That's the only thing. How would the microphone...
The mic will go through it, and then you just make sure you record the audio from the
TV, yeah.
Which
And
you're
that's
already
it.
doing as it is.
Oh, sorry, from the computer.
No, from the TV.
No, the audio would be coming from the laptop.
Oh, the computer,
and then it would be sending to the TV.
yeah.
So you record it from there.
And I've done like Zoom videos from up at Rosebud, hotspotting off my mobile, and there's been no issues.
It'd be pretty funny. I'll be honest.
You can try it.
You got enough
Give it a
data?
go. Huh?
You got enough data?
I got unlimited, man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you wanna try it.
Barring no 40 gig updates on Destiny 2.
When are you leaving?
I'm going this weekend just for the weekend, but then I'm going to be coming home, and I'll probably go up midweek
Midweek for a week.
for 2 weeks.
Oh, actually, no, that's right. All right, so then what I'll do is I'll come in here with you down there and we'll just do a test run and see what I need to hook up.
Yeah.
And then we'll take it from there. I'll get my other phone and just use that as a webcam or something.
Yeah.
That's actually going to be pretty funny, but
It'll be interesting.
bum. It'll be like he's in Florida, like with the retirees.
It's Florida.
Like the retirees.
I told you,
man.
that's what we should have been doing during COVID.
What?
During the lockdowns, been doing it through Zoom or video calling.
Yeah.
Because you only needed the audio. You didn't need any...
But to be fair, you bums stopped working. I didn't. I kept working all the way through.
I didn't stop working.
At all?
I worked the entire time.
Did you?
That's the worst time of my life. You know how stressed I was?
He was working the most.
Oh yeah, he had the the good old complaints.
All right, let's just wrap it up here. Thank you very much and good night.
Hold up.